Hey friends, it's Shereé, and in today's video, I'm doing a pattern review of KnowMe pattern ME2052, and that is this gorgeous pattern right here. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning person, thank you so much for your continued support. All right, let's get into it. I'm so excited to finally have found a pattern that looks very close to my favorite pair of jeans. I've said this before on my channel before, but I have a large Levi's jean collection, and my favorite cut of Levi's is the Low Pro. I like the Low Pro because it sits comfortably on the waist. It has a wide straight leg. It looks good with sneakers. It looks good with flats. It looks good with heels, sandals, you name it. Those are my favorite go-to jeans. And I've been wanting to make a pair of jeans myself that would look as good as those Low Pros, or maybe even better. And so anyway, when this pattern came out, I got really excited and I ran out and got it right away. Now, this pattern is designed by Beauty J'adore, and her name is Nikki, and she's got some incredible style. As you can see, I've already made one of her other patterns. It's behind me here, and there is a pattern review for this coat on my channel. So if you want more information about this coat, do look at that video. But this is now the second one that I've made from her, and I love it. Okay, this pattern's really good. I'm going to break it down to you what this pattern is all about, and also tell you about my experience sewing it. So one of the things that I found really cool and unique about this pattern is that on the front of the jeans, there are these large patches. They're also on the back of the jeans. These jeans have really gorgeous pockets in the front as well as in the back, and the belt loops for this jeans are really large. So it's nice to have a chunky belt loop, and it's actually very unique and different from the other jeans that I have in my closet. So I really like that feature. These are more of a cropped style of jean. However, I did lengthen them in order to meet my needs. I don't like cropped jeans. I don't like my ankles to be cold. So I added about 4 to 5 inches to the length of my jeans in order to make them full length, and also so that they can meet my needs and go with all my shoes. Now, this pattern is rated as average. I definitely agree with that. The challenges that you might have if you're new to sewing will be installing the jean zipper as well as the jean button. Now, if you have sewn some other garments and this is going to be your first pair of jeans, I do want to let you know that the instructions are written really well. And even if you are on more of the beginner side, you can probably sew these up really easily, especially if you follow along with the recorded sew along that's on YouTube on the KnowMe Patterns YouTube channel. So I don't discourage beginners from trying this. I just want to say that it is going to be more work than, say, your beginner pattern because it is rated as average. There are some additional steps. There's also the cool top stitching that goes along with jeans as well, especially when you are attaching things such as patches or designs onto your jeans. This pattern is actually for sizes 8 through 26. Now, the measurements for the size 8 is a 24 waist and a 33.5 hip. And for the size 26, the waist is a 41 and the hip is a 50. I sewed up the size 16, and the waist for 16 is 30 and the hip is a 40. Now, those are body measurements. Those are not finished garment measurements. The finished garment measurement is a waist of 32 and a hip of 45.5. These are meant to be slightly oversized, and I actually made mine even more oversized than what is shown in the picture here on the cover. This pattern, it comes with both the button-up blouse that you see here as well as the jeans. Now, for the button-up, I've cut this pattern out and I've cut the fabric out. I just haven't had time to sew up the blouse yet. It's coming. I do plan on sewing it up. I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it. The fabric that I chose is fabulous, but it will come at a later date in a different review. And so the top is view A and the pants are view B. And with view B, the fabric recommendations are going to be chino, denim, micro suede, stretch wovens, and twill. And then view B has front pockets that are lined, and so you're going to need some lining fabric, and the recommendations are cotton blends and polyester blends. I actually chose to use a wool dobby, which is polyester, and it's the same fabric that I use to cut out view A, which, like I said, will come in a future video. I think both of these items look extremely stylish. This is definitely my style. This is something that I would wear a Monday through a Sunday, okay? And I love the way she styled it here with her beautiful bag. It looks to be maybe a YSL bag, and her gorgeous heels. Now, while I do appreciate and respect a good heel on everyone else, your girl doesn't like to wear heels. I know. They are cute. They can create the best vibe, but also I'm just clumsy. I was going to say I fall a lot, but I catch myself most of the time. I'm clumsy, okay? And I don't like my feet to hurt. So I do wear heels on an occasion. But when I purchase jeans or when I make jeans, the goal is always to be able to pair them with lots of different types of shoes, not just heels. I love the way she styled it here on the front, though. This is definitely a vibe that I would be after if I had, you know, stronger feet and better balance, okay? Now, on the front of this pattern, there is a QR code that you can scan with your electronic device, whether it be a cell phone or an iPad, to take you to the sew along. And I think that that's really helpful. I did post pictures of my finished garment on Instagram, and someone commented that they love this pattern but wish it came in the new extended size range, and I 100% agree with that statement. I really do wish that this came in all the sizes so that everyone could sew it, because this style of jean would look good on everyone. So KnowMe patterns, please extend your size range, because I know my friends are gonna love this pattern. All right, let's get into some more details. So I told you I made a size 16, which I did. And as we know, if you've been following me for a while, I always make a 16 and then I probably will take down the sides and also the inner leg and decrease the crotch length. Now, since I wanted these jeans to be slightly oversized, and I did see that the finished garment measurements on this pattern were much larger than what my finished garment measurements should be if I want a close fit, I knew it was going to be slightly oversized. And this is my first of many, I'm guessing many, that I'll be making of this pattern, because I really did enjoy it so much. But I did make some changes to my version in order to make it fit me slightly better, because it was a little bit more oversized than what I anticipated. Now, like I mentioned before, this is not a close fitted pair of pants. It is meant to have room in the legs, so it's not meant to be super tight on the body. All right, so I ended up taking in the inner legs, and I also decreased some of that crotch length after I completed my pants. That is what I did to change it. I also, like I said before, increased the length of the legs. The instructions for this pattern I felt were really well written, easy to follow. There was no issue where I was confused or anything like that with any of the steps, so I really appreciate that. And I would say that just thinking about all of the other jeans that I've sewn up in these last couple of years, this was probably one of my favorite sewing projects. And I think that along with that sew along, you really can't go wrong. Now we're going to talk about the mistake that I made. And before you say in the comments, girl, why are you always telling people the mistakes you made? It looks fine. It's important to share mistakes, because you know what? We all make mistakes, friends. We all make mistakes when we're sewing our own clothes. Maybe we don't all share those mistakes, but if I can prevent you from making the same mistake that I made, I'd really love to do that. Also, it's kind of fun to share notes and to talk about things that we struggle with. And I enjoy sharing my mistakes, and hopefully sharing them prevents you from making the mistake, but also prevents me from making the mistake again, okay? But anyway, we all make mistakes when we sew. And so I want to share with you what I did. Now, these gorgeous jeans have these awesome patches on the front. I'm going to show you my jeans. And this is what the patches look like, right? On the pattern themselves, it has all the instructions right there on there with the markings to tell you where you should be placing these awesome patches, right? Now, I've marked my jeans with all the appropriate markings using a marking tool. However, from the walk from the ironing board to the sewing table, somehow I made a mistake and shifted over one of these panels, and now it's extremely close to the inner leg. Now, I do want to point out that the reason why I didn't notice this initially is that it was before I made my alteration. And as I told you before, I did make an alteration by decreasing the width of the pants on the inner leg seam. So when I decreased the length, I realized that the patch was super close to the inner leg seam. I hope I'm using the right words here. Anyways, this is what it should look like. This is the other side. So you can see the corner here. There's about an inch between the corner of the patch and this inner side seam, right? And the mistake on this side, you'll see, hold on, let me get there, that it's probably about a little more than 1/4 of an inch difference. Is it noticeable? Not right off the bat. I don't think, unless someone was looking for an imperfection, they would actually see it, but it's something that I did. And you know, when you hold the pants up and look at them, the patches actually look perfectly lined up. I couldn't tell by looking at them that way. It's just shifted at the bottom a little. It happened. It happened. And by the time I noticed it, I was completely done with my jeans. And I was trying them on, and I was dancing around, and I was so proud of my completed jeans. And you'll see that they have wear lines, and that's because I wore these today. But they are gorgeous. I love the way these jeans came out. Let me show you the pockets. See, this is the wool dobby fabric. It is a gorgeous orange fabric with denim designs on it. Really, really beautiful. I love the way these came out. I love these chunky belt loops. They are so unique and gorgeous. I love everything about these jeans. Now, the denim button, I actually buy these in bulk through Amazon. I use a lot of them often with a lot of projects, so that's the way I like to do it, is buy a lot of them at once. And I think it's important when you're going to be making jeans to make sure that you have a couple of these guys, because you know, if you're hammering, you could hammer the little, I don't even know what it's called, but the peg, the screw that goes on the inside of this guy, maybe you hammer it crooked and now your button is ruined. Or maybe you lose the back. Anything could happen. It's better to have more than one going into a sewing project like this. Now, my zipper is a really nice YKK zipper, and it's just a light denim color with gold. Now, another thing I want to point out is that the fabric that I used is a recycled denim fabric from Blackbird Fabric. I love this fabric. It's gorgeous. It's so nice that I actually purchased it in 2 different colorways. Okay, I got this colorway and then I got a gray. It's kind of pricey, but it's worth it because it's beautiful. It's sturdy. It's got a good weight to it. You could make an awesome denim jacket out of this fabric. Really, really beautiful fabric. When you look close at the fabric, you can see little speckles. Hopefully you can see it in the fabric, and that is the different shades of denim that have been used combined to make this recycled denim. It's a really gorgeous piece of fabric, but it's hefty, it's thick. So I actually broke three needles making the waistband for this guy, and it was when it came down to sewing on the belt loops, because there's so many layers of thickness when you're sewing your belt loops. So I totally broke 3 needles. So that's another note for you. When you're making jeans or any denim or leather project, you want to make sure that you have a few needles, because you never know what's going to happen. And you don't want to be in one of those situations where you're sewing your jeans, it's the middle of the night, and you were really, really trying to get that done so you could wear them the next day, only to break a denim needle or jean needle and have to wait to finish your project till the next day so you can go and buy another needle. You don't want to do that. So make sure you have lots of needles on hand. At least in my case, like I said, I broke 3, so I needed 4 needles. That's a lot. I'm just saying, be prepared. This is the back of the jeans, and I think they look great. I love these little back pockets. They're so cute. And then the back patches are perfectly aligned. There was no issue with placing those. All in all, I think that these jeans look really flattering and I really love them. I want to point out something that's super cool, and that's the option to fray your hem. So now I decided that I didn't want to completely fray it because I'm going to be washing these jeans and I know that they will fray more and more over time. But there are instructions on how to fray, and I had never done this before. If you look closely, there's a line of stitches there that will keep it from unraveling all the way. And so basically the fray will stop at that stitch line. But I just got it started and I think it looks really nice. And so I'm gonna leave it alone. And it was kind of therapeutic to take my seam ripper and just unpick the ends of it. Now normally I hate to unpick anything, right? Because you want your projects to be perfect. But in this case it was fun, and it was to create a style, so I didn't mind it as much. So that was really neat. But these are the awesome jeans that I made, and I want to point out that it would be super cool if you wanted to. You could use a contrasting fabric for all of your patches and pockets, and that would be really neat. Like for instance, I could see myself making a pair of black jeans and replacing this with black faux leather. Ooh, and you could replace the patches with leather as well as these pockets on all of them, maybe even the waistband if you want it, and just really go nuts. So I really love the option of adding these patches. I do think though on my next version, so that they can look more like my favorite pair of jeans, I might actually omit using the patches, although they are very cool and I love the way they look. I think I might omit the patches and just make a straight pair of jeans, size 14 legs, 16 waist, adjust the crotch so that it's not so bulky, and that would probably be my favorite pair of jeans. All in all, I would say that this is probably my second favorite pair of jeans that I've ever made. I enjoyed the entire process of making them. Of course, I didn't love when my needles broke, but it was all due to this gorgeous fabric that I used. That is the reason why my needle broke. But this was a really fun project. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend this pattern for everyone. I think that this is going to be a very flattering pattern on everyone. If you are very petite and you don't have a lot of curves or anything like that, you can wear this. If you are a person who has some hips and a bum, you can wear this. You can make these jeans. This is a very good pattern and I really enjoyed making it. Now, if you hadn't heard, Sew Your View is hosting Jeanuary this month of January. And what that is a celebration of making jeans. And so they are encouraging all of the sewists that follow them on Instagram to partake in sewing jeans for this month. So I encourage you to check out that Instagram page. See all the different jeans that people are working on. Get some tips and tricks on how to make jeans or fit jeans. And this way you don't have to stumble through making jeans alone. Additionally, there is a woman who has an Instagram page and it's called Sewing My Style. She has put together an awesome workshop. It's a 3-day workshop in January where she will walk you and other sewists through the process of making your jeans. She also will do some fitting with you. So she'll teach you how to fit your body for jeans. I think that this is a wonderful investment for someone who really wants to get into making their own jeans, trousers, is learning how to fit your body. And if you can, I highly recommend that you check that out. And she also has jean kits, so you don't have to worry about sourcing your needle and your fabric and your thread and your zippers and your buttons. You can buy a kit straight from her as well as a pattern and get started sewing your jeans for January. I'm going to insert a video of me walking around in these jeans. I'll also insert some pictures. Now I really wanted to take pictures outside. However, it's pouring raining, so that is not an option. But you will be able to see how these jeans fit my body and how they look as I move around. You'll also be able to see some pictures of how I styled the jeans. And I wanted to show you how I could wear it with a couple of different pairs of shoes. I meant to insert some pictures of me wearing them with sneakers, but I'm sure I'll get lots of use out of these jeans and I'll be able to post a picture in the future of me wearing these jeans with sneakers. But in these pictures, I have styled them with some Tory Burch ballet flats. I've also styled them with some combat boots, just so that you can see what it looks like with two different pairs of shoes. I've also paired these jeans with a ready-to-wear ASOS white button-up shirt. It's 100% cotton. And I paired it with a Madewell belt and two different outerwear options. I like the idea of wearing this with a moto jacket, and so I've paired it with a leather jacket. And then I've also paired it with my ME2051 coat that I made. And I think it looks good with both jackets. And I plan to play around with some different looks as I continue to wear these jeans through the winter, spring, summer, and fall. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I truly thank you so much. I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please do hit subscribe. I hope you have a fantastic day and a wonderful week. And I hope that you make your very first pair of jeans if you haven't made any, or if you are a seasoned jean maker, I hope this inspires you to make another pair of jeans. Talk to you soon. Bye.